there is a new project called Shura TV, where we are looking to educate, entertain, and be the leading voice for our Muslim American brothers and sisters here in America and bring awareness of change established by Muslims. Whether it is a global change, innovative change, leadership change, or community change, and by supporting the Muslims and the community at large. Shura TV is going to bring innovative ideas and projects to your homes.
Our vision is one. We are Shura.
Alrighty, well, assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for giving us your time and coming on the Zoom session. The Islamic Shura Council of Southern California and Shura TV is very pleased to have you with us in this platform. For those of you that do not know Sister Maisa Youssef, she is the principal of OCS, the Orange Crescent School.
Yep.
Just so a lot of, for our community, the Muslim community, they know of yourself, because you are the principal. Everybody knows the principal in Orange County.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to, people that do not know OCS, that includes, the community at large. What is Orange Crescent School and what's the significance of it?
Yeah, I mean, mashallah, alhamdulillah, not only, we're a part of Masjid ar-Rahman, the Islamic Society of Orange County. We're celebrating our 36th year. So we are the oldest Islamic school in California and one of the first in the nation, actually. Right after, soon after then we got, New Horizon Pasadena and the other schools came about. So mashallah, started in 1983. So it's very exciting that this was Orange County's first Islamic school. And like I said, it has significance not only in our county, but in the nation. So it has its history and its roots. And with the religious director, Dr. Muzammil Siddiqui, we have a long history. And we try to really work with our mission and grow our mission of academic and moral excellence.
Awesome. And I hear great things about it. I think I was fortunate enough to even participate and visit the OCS school. And thank you for the tour as well. That was actually very nicely done. What I did was right afterwards, I actually went back home and I was talking to my wife and my parents. And, I made calls to my parents. I'm like, look, these schools are great. I'm thinking of sending our kids, hopefully we have some. We want to send them to Islamic schools. So now let's discuss and talk about how is the curriculum like in Islamic schools? Because this is, I know it's a little different than public schools or other private schools here in America.
Yeah.
If for example, if somebody wants to go into a regular public school that has 6 periods, or somebody that wants to go to a private school, same concept. They've got different periods. They've got gymnastics, so they've got PE, social sciences, mathematics. What is it like in Islamic schools?
Yeah, majority of the Islamic schools, at least that I'm aware of in Southern California, we're all very similar in this fact that we do follow the, Common Core and the state standards. So we follow the same curriculum and academics as the public school when it comes to math, science, history, and English. However, we're fortunate we're able to add, kind of what we group together as the religious studies courses, which are, Quran, Islamic studies, and Arabic. So we do offer those classes as well, anywhere from, 3 to 5 times a week. In addition to, we do our best to do a PE, where we do it twice a week. Electives for our middle school students, so they take home economics, typing, leadership, and so forth. So we try to give not only the public school curriculum, but add in, of course, the additional religious studies courses.
Okay, I see. And in doing that, how many students do you guys have currently enrolled?
We're currently close to 300 students. We go from a toddler, so 18 months, all the way to, we just added 9th grade this year, and then we're adding 10th grade next year. So we're very to grow our school. We've been K-8, like I said, for many, many years, but now we're venturing into high school, alhamdulillah.
And is that because of what, the school's mission or vision is, or is that something like the parents requested?
Both. I mean, it's always been I know OCS has tried to venture into high school in the past. It's always been a want of the community to have an Islamic high school. Most of our kids, when they graduate 8th grade, they go to a public high school. There's no right or wrong, but there's a lot of parents just feel comfortable. Their kids have been in an Islamic school all their life. Those teen years are some of the difficult and trying years in terms of just navigating their identity, their hormones, their growth, their, going into college. There's a lot of pressures out there. So a lot of our parents say, we want to keep our kids in this environment without sacrificing. And that is our goal, where no academics is being sacrificed. They're not losing out on their chances of high school or college per se. So that way, that's what we're working towards, that they still have that family, Islamic community environment where they get to grow without all these pressures, yet not diminishing any of their chances going into college and their careers.
Awesome. That's great to hear, and great to know as well. Very informative. Now, how has things changed in the past month or two as we see with the pandemic taking place with COVID-19? What changes has OCS made for the SoCal community or for their students and families?
So subhanAllah, we joke, we no longer count time in terms of like BC and AD. Now it's, it's AC. After Corona, we're counting the weeks, how many Corona weeks there have been. So we just completed the 4th week of online learning. So we've just begun week 5, which is our spring break. And then we will continue on. So we now count weeks of how long we've been out. So subhanAllah, 4 weeks ago, it was Thursday, and we just said, you know what, let's call for a minimum day on that Friday. It was, I believe mid-March. So you know what, we need a minimum day. We need to figure out how we're going to do online learning, when and if it happens. And then subhanAllah, Friday, we said, no, this is good. We had a minimum day to let out all the students so the staff can meet. And that Friday, we announced that we're going to be going out for 2 weeks. And then, of course, it kept getting extended. So that Friday afternoon, we came together. We looked at all the tools we currently are aware of. Mashallah, Zoom was very fast to release their, a basic package for free for educators. A lot of our teachers, alhamdulillah, actually in our upper grades already had Google Classroom. So we made the decision, okay, we need Google Classroom school-wide. Everyone needs to either update or create their Google Classroom. Again, as a nonprofit and as an education, Google, Suite is all free to schools. So that we quickly, strategized. Some of our younger grades, they said, okay, great, we have Epic accounts, Class Dojo, all those different things. We kind of pulled together, what are we already using? And a lot of our curriculum, alhamdulillah, our core curriculum comes with online services that we already had purchased. So we're very fortunate that we were able to pull together what we already had, what companies are now expanding because of COVID. And we came to the decision that, okay, the main 2 platforms will be Google Classroom and Zoom, plus with the addition of all of our curriculum online resources like Think Central, Houghton Mifflin, and Accelerated Reader. We had already a lot of online that we were able to expand.
So my next question would be, was this an easy decision made from your guys' end? And if so, how did the students or the parents really transition as everything was, taking place via home?
Yeah, that Friday, it was that Friday that we called for a minimum day, and we knew we were going to be out. We just didn't know how long. I think maybe I was just a little bit more optimistic.
Yeah.
So there was no like formal goodbyes. We quickly ran off as many packets as we could, telling kids to just take home what they need for the next few weeks. We weren't quite sure what was going to happen. There was tears. Parents were like, this is emotional. This is weird. We don't know what's happening. But everyone understood. Nobody was upset. Everyone was just, equally kind of scared and worried, but very supportive. Everyone was happy that we were very quick with our decisions and kind of jumping to make sure we're keeping everyone safe and not delaying the announcement of the school closure. Because we knew, a lot of our parents either both work or they're in the medical field. So they needed enough time to really figure out childcare and being home teachers now. It was not easy, but everyone's been very supportive of our parents. Our teachers feel like they thought they had a tough work schedule before, but now it really does. And I feel them. It's like 24 hours. You never stop working. You feel like you can't not check, you can't say, oh, it's after 5, I'm not going to check my email. Because for some families, that's when they get to do their schooling, is in the evening, catch up. So they have questions, they can't help their child during the day. So our teachers really feel like it's non-stop online learning.
And how is the transition on the parents' side? I know there are parents who have no idea of how to use technology or how to get into Zoom. So how is that taken care of?
It's definitely overwhelming, but our staff, mashallah, they created a lot of how-to videos and tutorials that they've been posting on their Google Classroom, as simple as how to take a picture and send it. You know, they've made little videos of how to use the notes feature on an iPhone, as really scans things so nicely, better than a picture actually. How to use Google Classroom. So our staff has made lots of different tutorial videos, so that way both the students and the parents can feel at ease with all these technology demands. We've made a one document that has all the weekly assignments per grade per subject. So every week, a parent can just open this up on a Sunday night, Monday morning, see what is coming up for the week, and be able to, you know, manage it for their children, especially for our larger families. It's hard. It's one thing when you have 1, 2 kids, but when you have 3, 4, 5, it can become overwhelming with managing all the different devices, the Zoom sessions. We do hold about 3 to 4 Zoom sessions per day. We don't do all the classes every day. Again, we find
that was going to be my next question. I know you talked about, you know, kids now or parents going after 5, you know, and kids they're trying to do their homework after 5. Since you guys are going a couple of times a day, so it's not traditionally like traditional classroom settings where they're going in at 8 a.m. and they're getting out at 5. Is it different or?
Yeah, pushing it back. First, we started at 9 a.m. Realizing, no, it needs to be about 10 a.m. Again, just managing all the different devices. Yes, we want to keep their life as normal as possible, but we also know the reality. Some parents need that first hour or 2 in the morning for themselves. And to be able to start off a child at 8 a.m., it's a fight. It's a battle, and we get it. A lot of our staff, our teachers, are parents as well, and have students, not only just parents in general, but parents at OCS. So we realized we try and start most of our classes at 10 a.m. There's still a few at 9. We're going to readjust that after spring break so that we start at 10 a.m. And like I said, we don't do the full schedule daily. We try and minimize it to about 4 Zoom sessions a day. So that's 4 times 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And then we have open Zoom sessions. Our teachers let some of the sessions be, if someone has a question, needs help, they'll schedule some one-on-one time with students. Because if you are struggling in a traditional environment, you're definitely struggling with an online environment. And that's what we're working towards, is reaching out to those kids who already were kind of struggling, needed their hand held a little bit more, now don't even have their parents to do that. And it's hard through a video to kind of reach out to those kids.
Yeah, and is there enough technology supplies for parents or for children? I know there's certain families, they have 6 kids or 8 children. How are those needs being met?
So on that Friday, we did send home Chromebooks. We sent home 1 Chromebook per family. In some of our larger families, we sent home 2 Chromebooks. Luckily, Zoom works with a phone and an iPad as well. So we tried to find out from our families who were struggling, since we did have, alhamdulillah, Chromebook carts. So we issued out Chromebook carts, headphones, headsets to our families who needed it. So we tried to be that support as much as possible and provide parents with links to free internet service if they needed it. We really put out surveys, finding out what are they still struggling with. So we're doing our best to kind of support our families when it comes to technology.
Okay. Any pros or cons of teaching virtually now? What are the pros and cons?
We're trying to, the silver lining is like, hey, now that all of our Google Classrooms are up to date and have all these amazing videos, next year, inshallah, we can really try to look at more having flipped classroom, where kids watch the lesson at home and then come into the traditional setting, actually working on the assignment rather than always just doing direct instruction. So we're looking forward to next year, that now that we've built this wonderful online platform, that we can really utilize it in an in-person setting next year. So that is the pros. It's really pushing us to be more creative. There's a lot of things through Google Chrome and extension like Pear Deck and other programs that really enhance learning and engagement that's working now, but we feel like will work even nicer once we're back in person.
Yeah. Any cons?
I mean, like I said, it's hard to reach out that struggling student or the person who has attention, problems. Normally a teacher is walking around the classroom, tapping on the desk, patting them on the back. Hey, let's get back to working. Hey, do you have help? Question. You can't do that through a screen. So those kids who struggle are struggling even more, not being able to reach out as easily. I mean, our teachers are trying, but it's definitely hard.
Okay. And is there anything specifically in place for those students or for those families that needs extra support?
So what we're trying to do now are those one-on-one Zoom sessions, or at least it's one-on-one. It's about 20 minutes. They're trying to connect just with that child rather than managing a whole classroom. And then we are talking about summer school. That is the reality. Inshallah, I know the governor just came out today with a little bit more news. We hope that if we can go being back in person in the summer, come July, we hope that we can have some summer school sessions for those kids who struggled and redo some of that work with them and catch them back up again.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And then just, I've got a couple of more questions, and my next one would be coming to teachers now. What are some of the pros and cons on their end? Are they feeling stressed, or are they successful at using this new tool?
Very stressed in the beginning. Let's be honest. That first 2 weeks, like I said, they felt like they were working 20 hours and sleeping for 4 hours. And in those 4 hours, they were dreaming about the kid who they need to email because they haven't accepted the Google Classroom invitation yet, and all of that. So it was nonstop those first 2 weeks, with teachers who felt like they could never do a Zoom or never go online are now really being the leaders. They're blowing us away, and they're like, hey, if anything, it's showing teachers that they do truly have superpowers, that they can figure out anything when it comes to educating a child. So I feel like everyone's in a better groove. Like I said, it's putting things online more, where kids who missed the Zoom session now can go back to a recording. So the kids are seeing the benefit of being able to rewatch a lesson, post a comment, get a response, work on their own time, not wake up 7 o'clock in the morning anymore. Yeah.
So are we seeing grades changing yet, or not? Any grade?
Like I said, for the majority of students, they're maintaining, they're doing well. There's still, like I said, there is that group that were always needed extra help, who are struggling, but the majority of our students, they're just sad. They want to be in person. They miss their friends. Really making everyone grateful for what they had. I don't think we're going to hear a kid complaining about school for a few months when we get back. They're going to be grateful for those experiences.
Yeah, we hope so too. And now, just to finish it off, any suggestions, anything that you would like to address to the other school principals, administration, or teachers, or families, or even like parents or students? Any last feedbacks?
To be patient and communicate. Say what your frustrations are. I think we need to forget we still need communication, either via text, email, a phone call, FaceTime. Sometimes we just need to kind of hear what we're struggling with and adapt. When we post the assignment is due, we know the internet can go down at that time. We know someone else is screaming over who gets the laptop to submit. So patience and flexibility is the biggest thing, and it's both ways. We want to hear from the parents, and we want to keep communicating. So that's what we're trying to do, constantly sending out emails and surveys, letting people know where we're at, and we love to hear back. Here, this is what I'm still struggling with. It's the nanny that's with my kid the whole day, not me, or so forth. So everyone to be patient and flexible and understanding that every family has a different situation during this time.
Absolutely. And is there anything specifically with OCS that you guys would suggest that other outside party can help, or the parents can help out in any specific way with this new process?
I guess just giving that emotional support, and I wonder if there's, as we go further, let's say summer school or what have you, just trying to provide that check-in with everybody and checking in with the kids and checking in how they're doing. I mean, we're now starting enrollment for next year. And I know that's easy for some of our families, that uneasiness is making it, just difficult for everyone. But we want to continue as is. Hey, no, there's going to be a next year. we're still going. We're being flexible and understanding about the fees and so forth. We're trying to be creative and what are other ways we can make sure we can continue paying our staff, continue with the enrollment, maybe starting a fund for our students who are being financially affected by COVID-19 and what we can do for those families so that they can continue in a private institution.
And I think one thing that you brought up, which I'm going to hold you for another couple of minutes, is very important, is the fact that there are families that are struggling, right?
Yes.
How to cater to them, and then question two is there's a lot of Muslim families that are willing to put their kids into Islamic school, but they don't have the means. So how is that dealt with at OCF?
For this year, we're just letting families be honest and open with us. Like, hey, they had 1 more month's tuition to pay. We asked them to be honest with us. Hey, where are you at? We'll kind of freeze your account for right now. We'll figure it out. Allah is the best of planners. Maybe during Ramadan, we'll be able to support those families who couldn't make their last month's tuition. So, mashallah, families have come forward and kind of let us know and be like, hey, I can't. Maybe later I can. So we are being flexible and freezing those accounts for now. We're not kicking them out. We're just gonna say, you know what, just don't pay something now. Inshallah, hopefully later, maybe we'll figure it out. But we wanna hold on to all of our families. And then for next year, it's making us start to think of, okay, again, during Ramadan in the summer, how can we grow our financial aid program, our tuition assistance program? How can we grow it so that we can continue supporting families who wanna come to our school but don't have the financial means?
Thank you for sharing that. Very helpful information. And again, I want to thank you on behalf of Islamic Shura Council and Shura TV for taking the time and coming and sharing your experience with us in this pandemic. Other than that, thank you once again, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. You too. Jazakallah. Thank you for all the support and just highlighting all the different organizations and being that support for the Southern California community. Alhamdulillah. Not a problem. Just trying to do my work. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.